when I summon people, clones of people, I use the word clone loosely because obviously if I sometimes I ask for them and I look up and 90% clone of them appears. That doesn't mean that they were created in a lab a million miles away and then shipped over to the nation I'm in. And then they get plugged in and charged up for a few hours and they send it outside and it's like, I got meat, son, now, I don't think that's how it happens. So the word clone is, it's an introduction to what's really freaking going on here. But what I can do is a lot of shit, a lot of crazy shit. They blame me for the COVID stuff, just so you know. Um, yeah, like, I mean, you can actually see in my videos in 2019, I said everyone should be forced to wear a mask. Fucking for their health. And so I can wear a mask for my health and shit. And not, because I was getting escorted out of the fucking store by the cops and shit. Um, that might have been the video after that one. But still, I mean, if you really want to go through all my old videos on YouTube, it's there. There's some proof to what I say. And so that happened a few months later. Everyone was forced to wear a mask. So when I asked to see clones of people, how do they appear? And I'm not asking to see clones of people. I'm asking to see the same person again and then another representation of them appear. Um, Now, sometimes I have asked, like more recently, I like send me another person like that because I kind of learned that they're not teleporting the other person who's probably dead. You know, that'd be weird if they bring him back to life to come see me. Then we really, I mean, we already know something's up and this world's fake. But I mean, COVID should have been pretty obvious to everyone. The humans shut down. You know, traveled thousands of miles. There wasn't even lights on in houses after like 8 p.m. What the hell? How did they just go to? They shut down after 8 p.m. But and the world was showing me things during 2020, so it shut the world down, and then it showed me like people burning down cities and taking over cities and stuff like that. Stuff you don't know about. Stuff I'm not going to report on just in case that's my fucking safety blackmail key and shit. Fucking. Um, but yeah, I mean, you guys know some of that stuff was happening in 2020, right? So would it be a little bit of a stretch if I told you I seen some things that they didn't tell you was happening that were probably a little bit worse than just setting fire to 100 buildings? And I mean, pretty much every city was getting busted up in the major metro areas, but some of them didn't get busted up so much and other things happened. But anyways, it felt like the world was showing me stuff. That's not really the point of this video here. Um, but yeah, how you know the magic? So how does that happen? Like I don't know. I just listened to the TV and so I went to bed at 8 p.m. Everyone in the world, 14 billion people, all went to bed at 8 p.m. because TV said COVID's outside. And they didn't even all close their blinds. It's like if you're that scared of COVID, you better close your blinds, dude. COVID could be looking in the window like, hey man, are you in there? I'm coming. But okay, so when I summon request, whatever you want, I like the word summon because it seems like it's accurate on the path to discovering what's really going on here. Just like the changing the weather and the COVID, the free money, and you know the masks and all that stuff. Basically, would be manifestation summoning, right? So we have this thing where I request to see people, and the people generally appear. Now I've stopped requesting this because the clones make me feel extremely uneasy. I mean, being alive makes me feel extremely uneasy. Like waking up in the morning, like I pretty much just cry and fucking when I wake up because like and now I'm fucking back in terror world and shit. Fucking so or just go reach for some poisons and shit to try to doesn't even work, does it? I'm still here. And so it makes me feel uneasy to do the clone summoning thing anymore. And who the hell am I gonna want to see anyways? If I think they're all involved in this shit, and I, you know, pretty much like you can tell some tomorrow. I'll make more videos like explaining how, because I should explain everything instead of just fucking getting straight to the point. Should explain how the cracker gets the salt on it and the cracker gets processed in the factory instead of just explaining. I opened a box and there's some crackers. You gotta explain. People be like, there was no cracker. You making it up. No, not making it up. It's very obvious. Hell, like they did a video. Like when the last clone, when I actually did go for a clone, you know, a non-replica, um, they made a video here on YouTube and stuff, and they were talking to like the video somehow was like talking to me directly as the event was happening and stuff, meeting the clone, or I wouldn't have met the clone because the clone was trying to interact with me and get me to talk to it, or maybe in its mind it wasn't doing that exactly, but I mean the video is here playing on YouTube talking me through it. The Abraham Hicks video. While I was on the bus, the person was like, "Come sit down," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll leave the seats for other people and stuff." But then like I have my earphones in because I always do, that way I don't have to hear people. Um, um, and they're like, "Well, you know, when we send you stuff, that you have to accept it." And they've explained this to me several times before, that that they've sent me stuff and I've rejected it and turned it away and stuff. Even though like I probably had good reason to sometimes, and I just hell I know something's been going on since I was a kid. How the fuck am I not supposed to? How am I supposed to want to be a part of any of it? Um, so they're like explaining to me through the video, like they were taking me through the interaction with this person, because I don't interact with people. Like that kind of helps to have like a voice in my earpiece telling me like, hey, you got to go sit down by them. You got to say hi to them. And then the second I did that, I noticed this person had the same exact voice as the other person I was asking to see a clone of. And then, did they say they also played an instrument? Yes, I think they did. And also read books, just like the other person, which is extremely rare. So, I mean, come on, we got the same exact voice print, same exact voice pattern, um, reads books. I mean, that's like saying a person has three heads and stuff, okay? Um, but the voice print is like pretty unique to certain people I know. And when it's really unique, it's really unique. Like Stewart from um, that crack Mad TV show. I made a clone of him, like same voice print, everything looked exactly the same. Anyways, this is not the first time. So like, these people have like they have families somehow. Like I'm like, hey, I want to see it. 90. I want to see this person again. Magically, I'm like traveling, you know, like 100 miles per hour across thousands of miles. I just stop at the gym, something like that. They're at the gym. Imagine that. Oh no, they're at the dumpster. They're not just at the gym. I just pull up at one stop, one store, and I'm about to leave, like in 5 minutes. Never been there, never going to be anywhere near there again. And then something like that happens. Okay, so like, how does that happen? Like, these people think they exist. They have families, supposedly. Their families think they existed before I said, I want to see this person again. And they got sent my direction. So, what do you guys think's going on? You guys think there's reptilian shapeshifters in the game, something like that? Reptilian shapeshifters in the game? Because reptiles kind of odd. Like, hey, reptiles, like, they just come out and kill you. Like, Yeah, things are more ratty in this world than that. Like that's a good scenario. Someone just comes out and kills you. Now, someone playing games with you, raping you when you're a child, you know, destroying your family's minds, making them like little nuggets of gerbils, something like that. And that's so much worse than like a reptile. T-Rex be like, yeah, and you're gone. It's like the rat's just like nibbling away at you and being sneaky and running in the corner and all this stuff. Like I'd prefer some reptilian overlords. I think like that'd be interesting. Like the world would be in a lot better place. I think if we had reptilian overlords. That'd be great. Got some T-Rexes running things. Hell yeah. Better than Jeffrey Epstein being the king of the world, right? Like T-Rex or Jeffrey Epstein. Well, everyone else made their choice. They allowed Jeffrey Epstein and his people, and they keep wanting to vote for Jeffrey Epstein and his people to run the world. And no one votes for T-Rex. So you have Biden and Trump and Jeffrey Epstein running the world, and the rest of their family. So, anyways, so when I do that stuff, what's happening? Like, the reptilian shapeshifters are just like appearing in front of me magically when I ask for them. Because a couple times, like I'm just like looking at the ground and stuff, because I'm understanding at this point I've got to like sort out how this happens. Like if things are out of my visuals, then since the cards showed me that the movement changing in the shape shifting, image changing of the humans' images, uh, they seem to shut the camera off when I was trying to do that, and so I'm assuming like they don't want that to be seen and stuff. Um, yeah, so they sometimes appears right in front of me, not just like taking a day or a week or a month for something to be set up. I could easily write that off. That hey, look, something's being set up here. But yeah. So what is it? When I summon clones, what are they? And why do we have non-living beings that we're creating with our mind around us? Like, how come we're being fed lies that all humans are exactly the same? I mean, look at how much they're lying about that, saying everyone is exactly the same. Like there's something way deeper than just like you and Bob are different people, but they're lying. They're saying you're exactly the same, and he's a he's fucking stabbing people for $5 for his meth, and you're uh, you know watching TV all day or whatever. Like seems like it might possibly be two different entirely people. But you know, I'm talking about the clones. I'm like, what are we gonna do about the clones? Like, don't we want a clone-free world? Don't we want a world where only living beings exist in it? Like, why? I now, if they're like robots, we create like AI, which they won't because obviously we already have that, and it's artificially ignorant, and so artificial ignorance, if that rules the world, then artificial ignorance cannot create intelligence, so it can't create artificial intelligence because it can only, it's like giving a gerbil a hammer and a drill. It doesn't matter. You didn't evolve the gerbil. Like, that's all the gerbil can do is create a world with its little paws and stuff. It can't use the time machine or NASA rockets to go to the flat moon or whatever.